of a triangle, what do you call that? Patriots triangle.
Patriots triangle.
If you will, of hateration in this dancery.
Shit's getting real up in there. If you like the stories.
Yeah, shots fired. That's what we do. So let's shed a little light on what's going on up north.
Tom Brady, he's not shy about wanting to play into his 40s. He says he could play it.
Sorry.
Hey, he's 40 and he's...
I know, man. You do that.
He's like the best.
Go for it.
He has this trusted advisor, Alex Guerrero, who he came in as like a trainer and stuff, and he was helping with Brady personally.
Yep.
And he's kind of grown... got Brady's confidence. He's on Brady's very tight inner circle. Brady is seen as a loner and a quiet person. So this Alex Guerrero is seen as someone that has a lot of influence on Brady. Mm-hmm. Tom Brady for a long time was just content with playing games and winning championships and didn't want to do much other than that. And Guerrero convinced him to write a book and open these TB12 clinics. So a lot of people think that he has that influence over Brady. Brady, like I said, wants to play into his 40s. Belichick is a smart coach, no matter how much we hate to say it. And he's had a couple of quarterbacks that he saw as the follow-up to Brady. And
he was... now, correct me if I'm wrong, when in my little bit of research and whatnot, he was actually a fan of Garoppolo?
Who?
Belichick.
Yeah, he saw Garoppolo as the last piece of his legacy. Mm-hmm. Like, Tom Brady would obviously roll off in the sunset, and Garoppolo
2.0.
Yeah. And apparently there's been a lot of dissension in the locker room where players feel indebted to go to the TB12 clinics instead of the Patriots' own trainers and facilities.
Woo!
I don't know if you read it, but Garoppolo, 2016, he got a couple of starts when Brady was out. Garoppolo got injured in the second game. It was a shoulder injury. He set up an appointment at TB12. He later told Patriots staffers that when he arrived, the door was locked. He knocked, nobody was there. He called TB12 trainers, but nobody answered. He couldn't believe it. Garoppolo told the staffers, and that night ended up visiting team trainers instead. Guerrero denied ever refusing to see any player, and Garoppolo was eventually treated at TB12 2 weeks later.
That I did not read. Yo!
Right?
What the hell?
Like, Garoppolo, like I said, he was the heir apparent to Brady. Belichick designed him.
You know what that was all about.
So in September, Belichick, I guess he had a conversation with Brady.
Yeah.
And trying to get this Guerrero guy tampered down a little bit.
Yep.
Let's see. He eventually told Guerrero that he can see the players at TB12, but he's not even welcome at Patriot Stadium anymore because he's not a staff member.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
So he's definitely trying to distance Guerrero from the organization.
Meanwhile, okay, that was a lot for just one little corner of the triangle.
Right.
Let's flip that joker to the other side with Bill Belichick. Okay, so there's some rumblings going on around that Belichick might be interested in a head coaching job with the New York Giants. God bless him.
I have not heard that one yet.
Yes, because one, he's kind of has ties with them because I believe he was on the squad's staff when they won the Super Bowls.
Oh, like in the 80s?
Yeah.
Early 90s? Mm-hmm. Okay.
And, they're saying he has an affinity for them. And he's tired of the Robert Kraft bullshit. And then, like you said, trying to look towards the future. Now, I don't necessarily know if the Giants is a team you want to...
Well, next year he should have a healthy... what's his name?
OBJ.
OBJ,
yeah. Odell. But, that's very interesting. So, we will see how this thing shakes out over the next couple of weeks, man. And I'm telling you, if... I just cannot see this triangle breaking up.
That's more craziness. Is Belichick's actually coaching his coordinators on interviews, and he's never done that before.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot going on there. Me personally, I think I'm a conspiracy theorist. I feel like they just stirring up the pot for everybody to take their eye off the prize so they can cruise through the playoffs. But we're going to see how this thing goes. Hey, how we doing on time? It's that time. All right. Hey, when we come back, we talking NCAA championships. Just a bit outside.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com, the home of Talk Lately with Monty, every Tuesday at 7 p.m.
I had got drunk one night. This is the night that I put my head through the window and everything. So.
Why would you do that?
Now, I was sitting on the floor.
All these stories always involve alcohol.
They do. I was sitting on the floor, and my drink of choice back then was vodka and orange juice. Ooh, it's still my drink of choice, but I don't drink it.
TGIW, you're listening to the Be Inspired Radio Show.
TGIW, everybody. Yes, welcome to another episode of the Be Inspired Radio Show right here on BeExposedRadio.com with your girl, Miss Be Inspired on the mic.
The Artisan Angel HL7 Azrael.
And Blizzard, we are sending prayers to your mom, who we heard was not feeling well. Miss Zena, you know we love you. Mama Zena, you know we love you.
It's all love.
Yeah, she tunes in every week faithfully. Like every single week. She never missed a show. So our prayers are with you. Please know that we wish you well, and we pray that you will be well very, very, very soon. Blizzard, shout out to you. Prayers to you as you go and support your mom. Hope you all still are able to tune in though and share the video out. So family, guess what? I left my phone home. Do you know, I was telling Brianna, who I'm going to introduce to you all in just a second. I was telling Brianna in the car that, you know, now the cell phones are so much a part of our lives. When you leave it home or you forget it, you feel crazy, like you feel weird, like you can't live without it. Like you can't function without it.
I know there were probably so many times in your day you just looked down to your phone or like you felt a ghost vibration and it was just like, wait, I don't have it.
Nothing. Yes, you don't know how many times I looked in my purse, searched for it, and it was not there.
Right, that's so scary, like, because we're so like dependent on our technology.
Yeah, we really are.
If we lose it, that's the end of the world.
Because we do everything on our phones. But anyway, without further ado, because I do not want to, you know, forget to do this, and how can I? So we have a new member to the Be Inspired Radio Show team. Our newest intern. Remember last week I told you, I said we have a new intern that's going to be joining our show, and she is here tonight. Brianna. Hey, Brianna.
Hey.
So just say hello and how are you? And I would say just tell people maybe one or two things about yourself. Nothing? Okay. All right. Yeah. So Brianna does have some background. She does have some background in radio. She did do it in middle school. She is in high school right now. She goes to Woodlawn High School. And so she's going to be kind of learning the ropes and helping out where she can, especially with making sure the Be Inspired Radio Show video each week is shared out to everyone, and just making sure that folks know that we are here. She's going to help with that and some other good stuff. So thank you, Brianna, for joining us tonight. I said, I'm not going to make you talk too much. I'm going to just ask you to say hello, and that is exactly what she did. She said, hi. But it's all good. And also, everybody always says that she looks like she could be my daughter, which is very true. Look, which is very true. Her mom even says it. She was like, I just gave birth to Brianna, but she's really your child in so many ways. We have a lot in common, as we, you know, as her and I were talking on the way here. You know, the person that I am today is not always who I was. I was always a very quiet person. I did stuff. I was active, but I was quiet. I was, you know, to myself and everything. So I could relate to her in that way. But I think this is going to be a good journey because, first of all, she gets to earn those good old community service hours.
Yeah.
You know, you can't walk across the stage without them.
Those were annoying.
Yeah. So, don't judge me. I was a little bit of an overachiever. And I finished all of mine in middle school. But it was only because I had the opportunity to read to, was it first or second graders in elementary school. So, I was in the 8th grade. And every Friday, I would go down to the elementary school and read to the first and second graders. And that's how I earned my
Well, I did
community service hours.
35 in 8th grade just because of the situation I was in. Like my friend's mom took me home, but we go to a school before then, and I was just like, you know what, I'm doing this anyway. Like,
right.
You might as well. She was like, you know what, I'll just give you some hours. I was like, oh yeah, I do need
that
hours.
was smart. Yeah, I mean, because you can do them as early as middle school, but then some people maybe don't get a chance or opportunity to do it in middle school, and you just do it in high school.
Yeah.
So Brianna's going to get the best of both worlds. She's going to be learning the ropes on how to operate a radio show and slash station, and she'll be working with me on some things for the Miss Be Inspired brand, or Be Inspired LLC. She'll be helping me out with some of the events and all that good stuff, but we're still talking.
This is a very fun line of work. It is.
And plus you get candy.
Yeah.
You get candy. We do this every week. You ready for the candy? Mm-hmm. Okay. We look forward to it. I never buy it though. I'm gonna have to be honest with you. I have bought it maybe like once or twice.
Yeah.
But typically it's Azrael mainly and Blizzard.
That's because that
Azrael started it actually.
Is that sugar? Yep. Is that sugar? Oh yeah, because I brought in. I was mad I can't find them anymore. They stopped selling them. The little sweet tarts. Those were deadly.
Oh my
those
goodness.
were deadly.
So we're not endorsing any candy of any kind, but yeah, the sweet tarts, they were, oh my gosh.
It was like, it was such concentrated sugar that it became sour. Like,
shameful is what it is.
It was ridiculous.
Like, nobody should get that turned up off of candy. Like, but that sweet tart, we were like wired. Like, oh my gosh.
We actually had to stop for a minute before we could come, and we'd be like, and then we would, like, we couldn't even talk for some moments.
Yes, and because you start salivating from the sugar and the sour taste. Like,
it's just like,
your face going. So anyway, thank you everybody who is just tuning in. We appreciate you for joining the Be Inspired radio show tonight. Lots of fun stuff to talk about. You know, 2018 always starts off with like all this stuff that happens. But we're going to talk specifically about the Golden Globe Awards because it was definitely a highlight of this past weekend. A lot of stuff to talk about that. But before we do that, I want to make sure I give you some information about our station. First of all, you know that BeExposedRadio.com is an award-winning station. We had the pleasure of winning the Baltimore Music Award, Radio Station of the Year, Baltimore Music Award. We are an award-winning station. We have a lot of amazing shows on our station. We're continuing to grow. I'm really pumped about that. I love the family dynamic. I love that everybody supports everybody, no matter what. It's not about the numbers. It's not about the ratings. We all just support one another when we can. But, of course, if you want to participate in the show, there's always a way for you to do that. You can call in at 410-702-5657. Or you can text us at 443-642-9403. Now, there are a lot of people who reach out about opportunities to be a part of the station, or if you want to be a sponsor, if you have questions at all about Be Exposed Radio, you can email us at info@beexposedradio.com. Again, that is info@beexposedradio.com. BeInspired@gmail.com. If you want to learn more about sponsorship packages, you can email that email address and let them know you want to support the Be Inspired Radio Show, or you can send an email to the MissBeInspired@gmail.com. Again, that is the MissBeInspired@gmail.com. So that is TheMissBeInspired.com. The MissBeInspired@gmail.com. You can send us an email there too if you would like to be a sponsor. I know we did have a few people who said that they wanted to be sponsors on the show. Did I send you the email? Did they fit? I didn't?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So they can send, if they have any inquiries, they can send those inquiries to their email address.
You know, winning that award has done so much. Like,
yeah.
Cause now, like, I'm so quick to be like, yeah, you know, our radio show on the award-winning station, and it was like the first time I said I was like at a radio station, people would ask what station, or they'd ask questions. As soon as I say award-winning, they'd be like, oh, for real?
Right, exactly.
They'd be like, yeah.
It gives you leverage. So if you say that you are an award-winning anything, award-winning actor, award-winning musician, artist, it gives you, it makes you legitimate in some ways. People believe that you're the stuff, you know. So we already knew that Be Exposed Radio was the stuff.
Yeah.
But this award just took us to the next level, and now people really do want to be a part of our team. They really do want to support the station. They really do want to support the Be Inspired Radio Show once they know we are on an award-winning station.
We were already number one before we were number one, but like that award is just them recognizing that we're number one.
Right. Exactly.
We've always been there.
Exactly. I agree with you. So yes, we are doing great things here on BeExposedRadio.com. I'm excited. I'm proud to be part of the team. This is going on 3 years. This is 2.5 years for the Be Inspired Radio Show. This coming July 2018 will make 3 years for our show. There are some things that I would like to see. I know. We got to. This year, I want us to do something. Last year, I didn't really have the time and or energy that I wanted to actually plan something, but because we have a whole team now, we have Brianna on the team. Look, she's like she was like, girl. But we have a team, so we can do a little bit more. Do we have any comments? I said, do we have any comments?
No, yes. Fraser Ramsey said, hey y'all, Naomi and Terrence, hope you all are well.
Oh, thank you. And tell him, hey, I hope you're feeling better, Fraser. I hope you, because I did see your live feed. And I know how it is when you have stuff going on with your stomach and whatever else. So I hope you're feeling better. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in this week. Like I said, we're going to talk about a lot of fun stuff tonight. We're going to talk about fashion. We're going to talk about the fashion on the red carpet at the Golden Globes. I thought that would be kind of cool to talk about because it was just interesting. Well, for one thing, they wore all black, which we'll talk about that. We'll talk about why they wore all black and the significance of that. And I wanted to talk about that because it's I guess a meaningful reason why they wore black. And we can talk about that reason a little bit later on in the show. I don't want to spill the beans because we got 2 hours to go, family.
So, full disclosure, I have never watched the Golden Globes.
No?
Ever, or the Oscar.
That's what Brianna said. She was like,
never in my life.
Never seen it before.
I feel like that's just because it's like, I don't know. Mm-hmm. Like, I've never seen anyone like around my age really pay too much attention to the Golden Globes.
Right. Well, and rightfully so, first of all, I'll say. It's been around for like 75 years. Yeah. It's been around for 75 years. Most of the actors and actresses on there, young people don't necessarily connect with anyway. Yeah. Most of the movies that's on there is more geared toward the middle-aged adult. So it's like, why would you watch the Golden Globes? Nobody you really follow like that is going to be on there. Now the Kids' Choice Awards, but like Nickelodeon Awards.
But there are
I don't know. Did you watch that stuff?
No, there's no teenage awards. Like basically from middle school to high school, there is nothing
Yeah.
There is nothing. Like, we're too old for the Kids' Choice Awards.
Okay.
We're too young for the Grammys and Oscars and stuff. Like, it's just like...
So that means you got work to do, right?
Yeah, you know what?
I'm just saying. Because there are a lot of great young actors and actresses doing the doggone thing, and you're right, there's no recognition of them. I agree with that. So that just means you need to be working on something like that.
Got you.
All right. Okay, family, we're getting ready to go to break. You know how we do. When we come back, we're going to talk. Well, actually, we're going to do a few announcements, and then after that, we're going to come back and talk about these interesting Golden Globe topics. We're going to talk about Oprah's speech and a little bit more. So stay tuned to the Be Inspired Radio Show right here on BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Didn't get a chance to tune in last week? Well, here's what you missed on the Artist Exchange Radio Show.
Being a stage actor, how has that prepared you for comedy?
Oh, man. I think that being a thespian definitely gave me a head start and an advantage over most of the guys that just go right into comedy. I mean, it definitely helps with stage presence, memorization. Just, you know, a lot of comedians in the city, they don't consider every aspect of the performance, like what you're wearing, you know, how you say certain words, and being a stage actor, like I definitely, I'm thinking about every part of the joke when I write it or when I perform it. You know, like I try to do it as a performer without looking too stagey.
Tune in every Friday from 7 to 9 p.m. and every Saturday 12 to 2 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com. This is the Artist Exchange. Real artists, real talk.
Are you thinking about getting your GED diploma? Well, here at the GED Pep Talk Center, we've got a number of pep talks that can motivate you.
Sometimes things don't always turn out the way you want them to.
You know that feeling? People look at you and don't believe in you.
You want some gentle encouragement. Then you're on your way to your GED diploma and a better life.
But I know they're probably just a little bit nervous. You can find it in yourself to take that first step.
You can improve your future. You can do this. I know you can.
You need to start pushing yourself.
Now get your game face on and take the first step towards a better life. Hurry up! Don't make me repeat myself.
Whatever level of motivation you need to get your GED diploma, we've got a pep talk that's right for you. Call 1-877-38-YOUR-GED or visit yourged.org for your pep talk and find free GED classes in your area. GED is a registered trademark of the American Council on Education, brought to you by Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com, the home of Talk Lately with Monty, every Tuesday at 7 p.m.
Artist Exchange.
The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange.
Artist Exchange.
The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com, the home of Talk Lately with Monty, every Tuesday at 7 p.m.
Whoa.
The moment my son saw a redwood tree.
It's huge!
Is the moment I knew that for him,
You can't even see the top of that thing!
even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Whoa.
The moment my son saw a redwood tree.
It's huge!
Is the moment I knew that for him,
You can't even see the top of that thing!
even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Whoa.
The moment my son saw a redwood tree.
It's huge!
Is the moment I knew that for him,
You can't even see the top of that thing!
even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Whoa.
The moment my son saw a redwood tree
It's huge!
is the moment I knew that for him,
You can't even see the top of that thing!
even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Hello. Okay. Oh, welcome back to the Be Inspired Radio Show, only on BeExposedRadio.com, the award-winning. We're just going to ignore that first part. I am Azrael.
Oh, this is Miss Be Inspired on the mic. I'm all just... And also, we have Brianna in the studio hanging out with us. She is the new intern. She's going to be working with us here at the station. And also, she's going to be helping out with the Miss Be Inspired brand / Be Inspired LLC business. And then we have, okay, because you know we always have to do this grand introduction for Nate. We have Nate in the studio hanging out with us.
You already snow. Come on.
No.
You have to say it.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? I'm not a winter person. I'm really not. I don't know.
So that's why you're always on Blizzard, huh?
Oh, yes.
I didn't even think about that. That's true.
Something like that.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you everybody for tuning in. Okay. So, not this segment. Yeah, we not. So, just to give you a little rundown of what we're going to do tonight. First of all, we freestyling a little bit, but we are going to talk about the Golden Globes Awards. And I want to for several reasons. The first reason I want to talk about it is because there was this whole movement around the Golden Globe Awards. And if you don't know what the Golden Globes Award is, it's like the next major award before the Oscars. And a lot of times, if you get if actors or movies or TV shows get nominated for a Golden Globe, a lot of times they get nominated for the Oscar too. So it is an award show for movies, TV shows, actors, actresses, even musicians who create music for movies and productions and things like that. So there was this huge movement around the Golden Globes. What was that movement? It was the Time's Up. Time is Up movement. And what does that mean? Well, as I was explaining to Brianna in the car, I was telling her that in the entertainment industry, there has been this big to-do about sexual harassment and sexual assault in the entertainment industry. Now, it's no secret.
It's not.
Everybody knows it's like one of those unspoken truths. You know that sexual assault, sexual harassment happens in the entertainment industry. And not just in the entertainment industry. It happens in people's families. It happens on the job. If you work a 9 to 5, it could happen there between an employee and employer, or an employee and an employee.
It always happens.
It happens. But here recently in the entertainment industry, there has been this huge exposure of the sexual harassment and sexual assault that happens in entertainment. And oh my God, I forgot. Do you remember the name of the producer that was called to the carpet? Weinstein. That's right. It slipped my mind just for that second. So Weinstein, now trust me, there were other people who have come out about sexual assault. You know, Bill Cosby, his whole situation. You know,
Terry Crews.
Well, he did mention he was actually abused, right? No, or were there accusations against him about?
No, it was something that happened to him.
Right, that's what I mean. He was not abused, but he was assaulted.
Yeah, he was assaulted. Like I thought you were talking about him getting beat. I was like, I don't think anyone's gonna beat Terry Crews. Like, man is big.
Yeah, I don't see nobody like just beasting him or anything. But anyway, yes.
Except The Rock.
Okay, yeah, I probably could see that. That would be like a really cool match. But we digress. Anyway, for all you WWE fans like my son Nathaniel, who loves everything WWE, for Christmas it was WWE Christmas. He had The Rock, the old Rock, with the hair. That's the one he wanted, and it was actually in the stores. Can you believe that? And he had the championship belt. He got that. I digress. What happened? What happened? Blizzard's here. Oh, he made it! Oh my gosh! Yay! Blizzard is here. We didn't think he was gonna come because his mom is sick. Oh my gosh! So this is all good news. Yay! All right, so the blizzard is about to blow in, and then now you get to see the interaction that Azrael was talking about between Nate and Blizzard. They kind of have this kind of thing. I don't know what to call it, but you'll get to see. But yes, I digress. The point I was trying to make was the whole movement, time's up movement. Is it time is up? Time is up. I think that's what it was. Hashtag time is up. So all of the actors and actresses and producers and everything that attended the Golden Globes were asked to wear black. There were a few people in between there that didn't, but the majority of the people actually did wear black, and this was in recognition of the time is up movement and the Me Too movement. And the Me Too movement is centered around all of the women that came out, and men, because we know Terry Crews came out. What's up, Bliss? Looking fly too.
Try.
What's going on? So, remember, this is Brianna, by the way.
What's up, Brianna?
This is Blizzard. This is our new intern that we've been telling you about. That's going to start. And Brianna, more candy. What I tell you?
Grab the mic, Blizzard.
Woo! I'm gonna send you back home. Oh, turn up with sugar.
I never. That's crazy.
What is that?
Sloths? I like sloths.
I don't know.
Swing it.
It does not matter. First of all, you gotta turn it over like this though, so we can't see the name. Because you know how they do. We can't unless y'all planning on endorsing this show. We can't give y'all no free publicity. So
we got the extra sour air.
I was gonna get
sour candies.
Right. I was gonna get those too.
Yeah.
We still got
let me pull this over for you.
It's lit.
So yes, and Blizzard, just to let you know, I left my phone home, so I can't share out a thing. My husband has it, and I did tell him to go in there and act like he's me, and share the video.
Well, I mean, now everyone knows.
That's okay. That's why I said it, just to be funny.
Got that good cold water.
So anyway, what do you guys? So because I wanted to also play a little bit of the speech from Oprah, because she had like a standing ovation. Oh my gosh, the video went viral of her giving the speech about the time is up, and I want to get you all's feedback on that. But what do you feel? What's your whole opinion?
I've been working so much, I don't know nothing.
You don't know anything about anything, huh?
Yeah, I've been working so much.
Okay, well, we can't talk about it now anyway because we got to go to break. Actually, I was supposed to do announcements in this segment. I messed that up. So the next segment, what I'll do is do a couple of announcements, and then we'll get into our topic. How's that?
All right.
We are off the chain tonight. Look.
Hey, my sloth need a mic.
No more candy. All right, let's go to break, family. You're listening to the Be Inspired Radio Show on BeExposedRadio.com.
So, Jacqueline.
Yes, Mom?
I wanted to talk to you about something, and... Oh, wait. Hold on. I just got a text. Oh, there's another one. Wow. Busy me. So, anyway...
Oh, wait, Mom. I just got a message. My friends keep commenting on my comment. Oh, there's another one. So many comments on my comment.
Oh, I can't wait to watch TV tonight. Playoffs!
Hey, guys, check out my new video game. Pew, pew. Wait. Mom, what?
What? Hold
What'd you say? Wait a second, what?
This weekend, unplug. Take your family to the forest. There's nothing in the world like experiencing nature firsthand. Trees, paths, bluebirds, streams. Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. To find the forest nearest you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Do you want to promote your business? Do you want to get yourself noticed? Well then, why not sponsor us? There are lots of different options to choose from commercial spots and on-air shoutouts, to to interviews, and even putting your logo on our website. Don't miss these great opportunities to get noticed. Check out our sponsorship packages on our Facebook page or on our website, BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com, the home of Talk Lately with Monty, every Tuesday at 7 p.m.
So, Jacqueline.
Yes, Mom?
I wanted to talk to you about something, and... Oh, wait. Hold on. I just got a text. Oh, there's another one. Wow. Busy me. So, anyway...
Oh, wait, Mom. I just got a message. My friends keep commenting on my comment. Oh, there's another one. So many comments on my comment.
Oh, I can't wait to watch TV tonight. Playoffs!
Hey, guys, check out my new video game. Pew, pew. Wait, Mom, what?
What? Hold
What'd you say? Wait a second, what?
This weekend, unplug. Take your family to the forest. There's nothing in the world like experiencing nature firsthand. Trees, paths, bluebirds, streams. Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. To find the forest nearest you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title. I guess I'm pretty visual. If a book's really impressing me and the writing is really good, I will peek and see what the last paragraph is. Because the endings of books should rock you. I am a book person, and if you're a book person too, read to a child and spark a lifetime of ambition. Join me at bookpeopleunite.org because reading is fundamental. A public service announcement brought to you by Reading is Fundamental, Library of Congress, and the Ad Council.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com, the home of Talk Lately with Monty, every Tuesday at 7 p.m.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back to the Be Inspired Radio Show, only on the award-winning.
Say it with your chest.
Award-winning.
Say it one more time.
Award-winning radio show. BeExposedRadio.com, and you're here with the artisan angel Azrael Alliteration.
Miss Be Inspired on the mic.
Yeah, you already know your boy Blizzard.
Come on.
I'm Nate of the Artist Exchange.
Brianna.
There we go.
Yay, Brianna. Brianna, if you all are just tuning in, is the new intern for the Be Inspired Radio Show and also Be Inspired LLC and the Miss Be Inspired brand. We're going to be putting in this work over the next couple of months, getting some stuff done. I told her I was not going to flood her right away with stuff.
On the way, though.
Right.
Yes, right away.
See, they don't want you. Told you get on here, we're going to put you to work. But anyway, but it's more so about enjoying the experience. We're going to be doing a lot of fun stuff. I said I was going to do announcements because I failed to do that in the last segment. That's what we were supposed to do. I want to make sure, so my goal is going forward to make sure I restore the integrity of the Be Inspired Radio Show and how it all got started, because I was very organized. I had everything together, and I said we got to go back to square one. Not that things went off the rail too much, but I want to restore that organization and making sure we email our schedules in and all that good stuff like that. So yes, I'm sharing that with the audience because this show was founded on excellence and will continue on being excellent. So that is the declaration, not for 2018, but from here on out, family.
There we go.
Give me a bell ring. That one was not well. Okay. So that's what we're going to do. And so I said I was going to talk about announcements on the last segment. I did not do it, so we're going to do it now. So what's going on with the Be Inspired Radio Show team? I will start. That's something we're going to be doing every week. So make sure you get your events and stuff that you want to talk about all together every week. First of all, I want to say Miss Be Inspired will not be here next week. Say why, Miss Be Inspired.
Why, Miss Be Inspired?
Because it's going to be the Blizzard and Azrael takeover of the Be Inspired Radio Show.
Yes. It's gonna be lit.
Like 10 bags everywhere. It'll be alright.
So
yes.
Oh yeah, I believe it too. I'm gonna be like, they don't make no sense. Look at this.
I'm gonna pass out by the time the show is over. I'm gonna just walk out the door and just lose consciousness.
I can only imagine. I'm like, they in here stroking out over some sugary sour candy. No. But anyway, so that is something new that we're introducing to the Be Inspired radio show. That gives Miss Be Inspired a little break. And also because I'm doing this play, I'm going to need that time. So every third Wednesday of the month, and I say every, because I mean what I say here. Every third Wednesday.
Oh, every Wednesday?
Every night. Say that. You know, I still need my job. Hello. Okay, so anyway, but every third Wednesday of the month will be the Blizzard and Azrael takeover of the Be Inspired radio show. We're going to do a whole photo shoot around this idea where they kick me out and all that fun stuff. We're doing that. We're planning all of that. Okay. So remember last week we talked about it? It's already in the works.
Wow.
So it's going to be fun. So the flyer for that, it's not going to start next week. It'll start next month probably. But going forward, it'll be this whole funny thing where they kicking me out for that week. And I bet y'all going to sit here and break the internet. Y'all going to have all the ratings in the world.
We just might break the internet. I'm a very controversial person.
So, but yeah, but let me just say I'm very proud of this new movement. I guess if that's my word, I always say movement. But anyway,
you know what? First up of our takeover Blizzard, we're getting a bag of sloths and we're getting them their own mics.
Oh,
yep.
Hey, see the sloth dance? Oh,
yep.
Y'all are too funny.
This is how it's about to be.
I can only imagine. Y'all gonna have way too fun while I'm not here.
It's gonna be a sloth takeover.
Yeah, wavy, baby.
So, we'll give you more information about what to expect for next week's show. I'm really excited to support these gentlemen. They are more than capable of taking over the show. And again, this is all about, see, I was telling, again, I'm referencing Brianna because we had a lot of conversation on the way here. Mainly, I was doing most of the talking because that's what I do. But I was telling her, you know, in business, you have to make wise choices. And so anybody who is a business owner and you have a team and you don't delegate and you don't share the responsibility with your team, I feel so sorry for you because you are begging to be burnt out. You just are. So I have a team here that's more than capable of sharing the load of the show. I'm not going to say burden because it's not a burden. It's something that I personally enjoy and I know they do. So sharing this opportunity, this platform with them, to me is wise. And because they both have their own brands and their own things that they do, this is an opportunity for them to shine and develop in that area too. So
yeah,
wise business choices, family. When you are a business owner, you have your own platforms. Be smart about it. You don't have to be the star all the time. It's okay. It's okay. Let somebody else have a chance. Okay? That's how you have a successful business. It is what it is. Okay. So that's one announcement. I'm gonna let y'all talk because I'm tired. What you got going on? Which one of y'all?
Whatever.
So there's the Icon the God show. Okay, that kind of just messed up my ears. It was a whole change of pitch. I don't even know.
Oh, in this thing?
Yeah.
You have really good ears then.
Yeah.
Because it sounds the same to me. It sounds like
no.
wind blowing.
But no, so tomorrow is Icon show. It's up at the Wind Up Space. I think it starts after 9. Y'all should come. It's going to be great. And Blizzard, me and Blizzard are both gonna be there.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
Can y'all send me information about that? Oh no, I can't go. Wait a minute. What am I talking about? I can't go.
Tomorrow.
No, I literally can't go. I got rehearsal.
Oh, well,
I'm sitting here looking at. Let me not show up to rehearsal. It's gonna be some smoke in the city.
We'll have videos. me and my my apprentice Trey bands are, we're dropping something amazing.
Wow.
It's gonna be extra lit.
Are y'all going live?
Not even me.
Are y'all gonna go live from this so I can see?
Oh, yeah,
please.
We'll go live.
Yeah.
Okay. I really
just for
want
you.
to see y'all because
about to be lit.
I wish I could be there. But
I am an icon. The icon.
Okay. What else you got going on? This is announcements time. This is time for you to say your piece.
That's it?
That's it.
Yeah, I'm relative.
Oh, yeah, well, Icon joint tomorrow. Next Saturday, I'm performing at my homie Decoy show at Club Reverb.
Ooh.
Oh. He gonna be on the show next week talking about the show as a special guest.
Oh no! Was Decoy?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I got confused for a second.
So I mean, that's about it. Still working on the mixtape, man.
Okay.
We're about trying to get back into things for real. On the grind.
Yeah.
We're about to have a full show, Blizzard.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking of another person too.
It's a mic right there.
Bring them all, son.
Yeah, I know. We're about to be lit in here.
Y'all gonna have too much.
Bring them all,
wait a
son.
minute.
We're about to be lit.
We're gonna need more chairs, son. We're gonna need a couch in here.
But that's what it's gonna be about. I can't wait. You could. Oh no. Is that approved, Nate?
I don't think so.
Nah, man. I don't want no problems.
We had problems before.
Yeah.
We tried to do things on a grand scale. We had a band in here and everything, a live performance. And Nate was not Nate. Monty was like, I'm gonna need y'all to make sure that.
I'm gonna be honest.
We got other people in the building. You cannot bring a whole band in here and.
I regret nothing about that choice.
I don't either though.
That was great. If I could go back, I'd do it again.
I think that's what sets,
it was great.
I honestly wish that we could do more of that, because that kind of stuff, that's what draws people. Like, oh, that was hot. Oh, they had a live performance. Oh, these artists actually get to perform on air, you know.
And remember that idea we had the permit so we can go do that
we can do
downtown.
That
I know, that's what I was saying.
That.
No, I mean, the plan was to have it done by the spring at least, so we could do that.
Okay, that's true. Well, we still on schedule then.
Yeah.
Okay. Y'all know.
I've been peeping it. I've been watching it. It's close.
So we're gonna do that. Y'all gotta we got a lot of great stuff happening on the Be Inspired Radio Show. I'm gonna, I can't even do the post show because I don't have my phone. I'm sorry, family. I'm sorry. Well, we actually could, because one of y'all could do it. It's not all centered around me. So we can talk more in detail about the stuff, because I'm not going to waste no more time talking about what Miss Be Inspired has going on either. Just know that our team is growing and all of us are doing amazing things. And we thank y'all for supporting us, for real. Yeah. Honestly. Do you have anybody commenting, saying anything? Did anybody chime in to say hello or anything?
Monique said, "Hey, Bree."
That's Brianna's mom.
Hey.
So yes. Okay, so here we go. Let's get into this. I don't know how many minutes we have left in this segment. Okay, we got 5. All right, so let's dive into, I want y'all to listen to, I'm going to put my headphones on too. I want y'all to listen to a few segments of Oprah's speech from the Golden Globes. She talks heavily about the sexual assault and abuse that women in general have endured over the years. I'm giving you a summary. And not just actors and actresses, but even everyday women who work 9-to-5 jobs and who are wives and mothers and have endured abuse because they just want to be able to provide for their family. That's the angle that she took. So let's listen to like the first minute of it, and then let's talk about it. Here we go.
When I first when they first called me and said they wanted me to accept this, I said I shouldn't be the person to get the Cecil B. DeMille Award. You know why? I was working with Reese Witherspoon this past spring and winter, and I happened to just say in the makeup room one morning, I said, "So how many movies have you done?" She goes, "Oh, honey child, I don't know, it's been so many." And I then thought, I hope she doesn't ask me, because I think it's been 5. And so I didn't understand it, and then they explained that it's about overall entertainment. Now, what I was able to do with the Oprah show and the cultural statement we were able to make throughout the world, I feel very, very, very proud of that. But I think that when it comes to films, that I am really the new kid on the block. And I always feel like when I'm acting that I am, out of my box. And it's the most intimidated I ever feel. And all those years of the Oprah show, the greatest lesson I learned was that, after every show, someone would say invariably in one way or another, "How was that?" I'd finish an interview with a father who killed his twin daughters. I'd finish an interview with a politician, Barack Obama, Joe Biden, George Bush, Beyonce. They all say the same thing. How is that? And so I started to see that there's this common thread in our humanity where everybody wants to know, how was that? Did I do okay? Did you hear me? And did what I say mean something to you? So I would have to say that recognizing that in other people has helped me to become, you know, a person of compassion, a person of understanding, a person who can interview.
I wanted to stop right there because I thought what she said was important. You know, at the end of the day, everybody wants to ask that question, how was that? And that's an indicator that everybody has that part of them that wants and needs to feel accepted. That wants and needs to feel accepted. And even the person who says, who may get on their soapbox and say they don't need anybody. Oh, I don't need you. Everybody has that component, that part of them that needs to feel like what they have done is meaningful. What they are doing is meaningful. Mm-hmm. And the reason why I'm drawing that out, because that is the basis for a lot of the reason why some people accept or don't challenge abuse in their life or sexual assault in their life. And the reason why I'm saying that is because in some weird way, they don't want to feel rejected. They don't want to feel left out. They don't want to feel like they did something wrong if they have to speak out against it. Or they may fear what they may lose for speaking out against the abuse. Or you accept the abuse because in some ways it may feel like you're being accepted. For some people, some attention is no attention. I mean, it's good attention, you know, meaning even if a person is abusing you, you're getting some attention. In the entertainment industry, for some people, they are propositioned often. So if they go out for a job, a producer or an actor, or not an actor, but a producer, or even actors on the same film as you or whatever, they may proposition you. They may come up to you and say, well, you have to do X, Y, and Z for me first before I give you an opportunity. And you don't have to be on Hollywood status for that to happen to you. You could be in a local play in your city, and somebody who is the producer or director of that play thinks that they have the audacity to come up to you and say, if you want this part, or if you want your name to be great in this city, then this is what you need to do for me. And it may not come out that bluntly, but it is said through their actions and how they treat you. I'm gonna pause right there. Comment.
I have we have 30 seconds.
Dang, we have 30 seconds. All right, okay. I know I just dropped the bomb, but I'm passionate about this because I've seen it happen even in my own family. And sometimes you are willing to compromise everything, even if it includes compromising your own integrity for success, for that feeling of acceptance and appreciation for what it is that you do. Yes, your talent should speak for itself. You should not have to sacrifice your own integrity for that, but it happens. All right, so let's go to break. When we come back, we're going to hear a little bit more of this clip, but I want to get y'all input even with what I said. So stay tuned to the Be Inspired Radio Show right here on BeExposedRadio.com.
You use Tearless Baby Shampoo because it's gentle on your baby's eyes. You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You always test the bath water to make sure it's not too hot. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off. You make sure she wears a helmet when she rides her bicycle. You put on his sunscreen, even when he's embarrassed his friends will see. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Is your child facing the right way in the car seat? Is the seat too big or too small? How do you know when it's time to move your child into the next type of seat? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat. That's safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Having trouble finding Connor's middle school? Would you like directions?
No, why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with him over homework.
Home, walk, restaurant. Need a review?
No, I need help. He's very smart, but his mind wanders. He's disorganized.
I think I understand.
Oh, good.
Finding best potatoes.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back to the Be Inspired Radio Show, only on the award-winning BeExposedRadio.com. You're here with Azrael.
Miss Be Inspired on the mic.
Blizzard.
We got, I was going to say, go ahead.
Nate.
Brianna.
Yeah, so we got a full house family.
Yeah.
The whole team is here.
And Sloth.
And Sloth. And Nate's hanging out with us. So what more can you ask for? I did drop a bomb on y'all before the break. So if you're just tuning in, we are listening to bits and pieces of Oprah's interview, and we're kind of reacting to it. First of all, it went viral. If you don't know, Oprah gave this amazing speech over the weekend at the Golden Globe Awards, where the topic was, what is it again? I've slipped my head. Time is up. Sorry, y'all. It's been a long day. I've been working all day long. Came from my 9 to 5 and I came here. So it is what it is. But the Time is Up movement. And so the whole award show was centered around that, including the clothes that everybody wore. They wore black in recognition of this movement that's happening that addresses sexual assault and sexual harassment in the entertainment industry. And as I said before, this goes even further than just the entertainment industry. This happens even in everyday life, within people's families, within your regular 9 to 5 jobs. And I just say regular just to separate it from entertainment, but for some people the 9 to 5 is not regular. This is their career choice. But even in that arena, sexual assault and abuse is happening. So at the Golden Globes, this was the topic, including Oprah's speech, and we left off at the point where she was talking about everyone has, and I'm paraphrasing, that component of them that is looking for acceptance. At the end of the day, you want to ask, how was that? If you gave a performance, you want to know how well you did. If you wrote a book, you want to know if people enjoyed it. If you know, whatever it is, you want to know that it was good. You want to be appreciated for your craft or for whatever it is that you do. So my point on that was, to me, that is the basis of some abuse. That desire to be accepted, that desire to be told that you are worth something, that you are valuable. And some people will compromise their own integrity for that feeling, to know that they've been accepted. So when I left off, I wanted to get you all's input on that. And I know I said a mouthful, but what is your opinion of that idea of acceptance and wanting to be appreciated for what it is that you do? And how far do you think is too far in order to achieve that feeling, or that acceptance, or that appreciation for what it is that you do, or recognition for what it is that you do?
I feel like it's exactly what I said when we were off air. I'm trying to think of it. I'm trying to think of if that's whether or not the thing I was gonna say. But with that topic in general, I feel okay, no, now I remember. Okay. That's why you shouldn't give people power. When a couple of years ago, I remember there was an experiment done. I'm not sure if y'all have heard of it, but it was at a university where they did they had 2 groups of students. Mm-hmm. One were the prisoners and one were the prison guards. Mm-hmm. So after a while, they locked up the prisoners and they gave them rules, treating them nice and everything. After a while, after a couple of days, the experiment had to get canceled because the guards got kind of drunk with power. Mm-hmm. And they started abusing physically and mentally the prisoners. They started denying them simple rights. So it's like, a lot of people can't handle power, and when they get the power to control other people's lives, they tend to abuse it to get what they want. And I think that's kind of
I agree 100%. I agree 100%. I think those that are inflicting the abuse and the harassment are drunk with power. They are abusing their position. They think they have the right to do that. Oh, because I have the ability to give you a job, you have to do what I say do. You have to, in order to get this job, you're going to have to do X, Y, and Z. And there are lots of people who would put their whole life on the line, their integrity on the line. And I'm not, this is not me judging them. This is me stating a truth. That sometimes, you know, in order to get ahead, you will contemplate whether or not it's worth giving up your integrity or compromising your morals or whatever it is. And for some people, it's not a thing. Like, okay, if that's all you want me to do. Or some people succumb to it because they feel like they have no other choice. If you want to make it in the business, this is what you got to do. This is the nature of the business, and not realizing that that's dysfunctional. That's not how it should be. What y'all think?
But being in the arts or the entertainment field, I've seen it on both sides.
Yeah.
So I kind of, I don't like to take away from anybody's personal experience, but on the other side of that, you cannot sacrifice your integrity for anything. And I've seen just as many people abuse that power on both sides as I've seen people in leadership abuse it. So you cannot put yourself in a situation where you're offering up what is sacred to you for a role, for a job, for an opportunity that you want. And it's not necessarily anything that you need, because if that's what you have to put up, then it's not really worth the after effects of it. But it's a sticky subject because you can't blame the victim, but who really is the victim at the end of the day? And you have to really put yourself in a situation where you're not putting yourself on a line and agreeing to anything that you don't want to do. That's why it's hard to really believe a lot of the stories that are coming out, because so much time has passed, and so much has been happening that's not been said on both sides. So you have to really speak up and learn how to speak up for yourself in the moment.
I agree with that.
But for a lot of people, I feel like, because like a lot of people say that they just feel like they can't speak up about it because they're instantly going to face direct repercussions. And although I was on the side of y'all should just speak up in the moment, but when you really aren't thinking so much about what's in the moment, you're kind of trying to block it off. Like, I've had friends who did have encounters like that, and they weren't even aware of what it was until it was later, because of the specific circumstances. They kind of just breezed past it. So
because they chose what they wanted over what was actually happening to them.
But I mean, in general, when you're talking to someone about, let's say if Nate, your goal forever was to be a great A-list actor and live this luxurious life, you know, big pimping, Jay-Z on a yacht and all of that, and someone tells you you can do this and get there instantly, or you can not do it and you'll be no one. Of course, you as a person, you may just be like, no, that's not worth it. But a lot of people feel like the ends will justify the means, especially if that's going to set you up, because they look at the benefits and they say the benefits outweigh the consequences, but after a while the consequences kind of overtake you.
But you have to be honest with yourself. You're living the life you want hinge on you sleeping with somebody.
All right, let's pause right there because that's heavy duty. We do have to go to a break. I like this debate because I think you have people that are on both sides of the fence here. So let's talk about it a little bit more when we come back from the break. You're listening to the Be Inspired Radio Show on BeExposedRadio.com.
Didn't get a chance to tune in last week? Well, here's what you missed on the Artist Exchange Radio Show.
Being a stage actor, how has that prepared you for comedy?
Oh man, I think that being a thespian definitely gave me a head start and an advantage over most of the guys that just go right into comedy. I mean, it definitely helps with stage presence, memorization. Just, you know, a lot of comedians in the city, they don't consider every aspect of the performance, like what you're wearing, you know, how you say certain words, and being a stage actor, like I definitely, I'm thinking about every part of the joke when I write it or when I perform it. You know, like I try to do it as a performer without looking too stagey.
Tune in every Friday from 7 to 9 p.m. and every Saturday 12 to 2 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com. This is the Artist Exchange. Real artists, real talk.
Join the club that gives you stuff.
Hey, thanks!
Radio Loyalty.
Here's how it works.
Just click on the Radio Loyalty banner right now and sign up. Then, you keep on listening like you already do. But now you earn points. Those points add up, and you can trade them in for stuff in the Radio Loyalty store. Earn more points by sharing your station with friends on Facebook and Twitter, answering surveys, and by using the apps in the New Players App Store. Pretty simple, right?
Radio Loyalty.
Click that banner to join now.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com, the home of Talk Lately with Monty, every Tuesday at 7 p.m.
Hey, there's my son. You've been in your room all morning.
Hey, Dad.
Matt, what's wrong with your voice?
There is nothing wrong.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
That are not necessarily real life scenarios, and you're putting yourself in a place where you're outside of what your norm is.
Right.
And you're in a space with people that you're together with almost on a daily basis, and you're developing these false relationships that are based off of we're doing the same thing in this moment.
Right.
And that's not an excuse for it, but that's what happens.
I got to jump in because we are back on air. You just kind of caught our break conversation that happens. A lot of time we continue the discussions on our topics even during the break. You're listening to the Be Inspired radio show. This is your girl, Miss Be Inspired, on the mic.
Yeah, you already know your blood.
Azrael stepped out for a second, and then who else do we have in the studio?
Oh, I'm Nate.
I'm Brianna.
Yes. So I told you we had a full house tonight. We are talking about a very, 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 I would say, controversial topic. We're talking about sexual harassment and sexual abuse in the entertainment industry. And it's touchy because I think everybody has an opinion about it. You have some that are like, how in the world do you even subject yourself to that kind of abuse? How do you allow somebody to, you know, touch you inappropriately or proposition you, or say if you want to be successful in this business you got to do X, Y, and Z. Then you have other people on the other side of the fence that's saying, you know, it's one of those things that people endure because if they want to be successful in this business, that's the only way that they could do it. Or if they try to speak out against it, you have this powerful person that could probably ruin your career, and then you'll never have a chance. So there's a lot of stuff, right? They can blackball you. It's crazy, and it does happen. And for some, they are left with that choice. Like now, I feel like Nate, I'm not going to put myself on that. I'm not going to compromise. I'm like, listen, I would knock down doors if I had to. You're not going to determine my success. And there are some people that's strong enough, but then you have some that are not. They just don't. You know?
It's not, but it's very little about strength, and it's a lot about being lazy. I don't want to take that other route. I don't want to. We see that in people like Monique, who's choosing to go her own route. She's not hungry. She's going right back to what started her career to get her back to where she wanted to be at. But you can't sacrifice who you are. I have an issue with us now blaming totally the other side when you walked across that line. Now, in cases of rape and like forced sexual abuse, you sometimes don't have a control over that. But when you knowingly sleeping with a married person or a person in power just to get to a certain level, that's your problem. You stepped in that,
and that's a choice. And I don't think that could be deemed as abuse. Probably
that's
not.
more so like as I was saying earlier, they see it as the ends justify the means. And as Nate said, it's not always necessarily about strength, but it can also be about where you are mentally, because when you look at all of you in this room, like y'all are very strong-willed people, and when it comes down to it, y'all feel like your art is great regardless, and you're good at what you do, and you won't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Right.
Not everyone is like that. Like being an artist, I've went through the stage to where I was like, dag, like I may not be good enough, and a lot of people may get that opportunity during that time, and it kind of messes with them, and they go on their insecurities to make a choice.
But then and this is my issue with this whole thing, you don't then get to come back 30 years and say you raped me. Like, and that's my point of view. Like, you don't get to come back years later and then claim that you were raped.
Which is understandable.
When you walked into this. Now, something needs to happen to the other person for abusing that responsibility of leadership, but you don't then get to come back and say you raped me. And those are the situations that I'm looking at when I listen to what both sides have said.
So when they're going into that, I think that's just a I feel like that's not the intention. I feel like what's being said and how it's being taken are being misinterpreted, because from the people that I know that have situations like that, and I know a girl who just like came out and said something about something happening to her a while back, and she and a lot of other people have said what they're saying isn't necessarily to cause a consequence to the other person. They've been internalizing their situation for so long that they need to just get it out and tell someone that it happened. Because usually when something big happens to you, good or bad, the first thing that most people do is they go and tell someone immediately, no matter what it is. And it's just the feeling that, because as humans, we're social creatures, so we want to talk to people, especially when it's big. So they've just been holding in the urge for so long.
I think that I'm on a different side. So I'm on the third side of the coin, if you will, even though there's no such thing. But you know, I'm just saying that I think that just the whole system is broken, and I think it's so deep. It goes even beyond what we can see as the fans and the people that see the entertainers. Because from some of the stories that I hear, they have like this whole ritual in some way and I'm not talking about like Illuminati stuff. I'm talking about if you are a rising star. Is that Aisha? She's here. Yay! Okay. So hey. Okay, so if you are a rising star, you know, you're invited to the parties, and I can only imagine, and do you mind closing the door because we got it for the sounds? Okay. I can only imagine what goes on at those parties. And if you're new to this whole thing and you go there and you're like, and you got all these people in power, like these producers that could make or break your career. And I'm not saying that I would do it. I'm just building the picture of how the system itself is broken. You know, and you go there and, you know, it's all kinds of drugs being offered, this and that, or the person that's managing you is encouraging you, like, you know, oh, it won't hurt. You know, I mean, I'm just being real. Like, and to me, I'm not placing blame on just the producers. I'm just talking about the system. I'm talking about what has been going on for years and years and years. And this is not even just into entertainment. And I think that some of the people that are saying Me Too or time is up, it's not that they necessarily are being abused, but they're talking about the broken system. The fact that this is even a thing. The fact that you got people in these positions, producers and things, that think they have the audacity to even come at you like that. So, maybe I did tell you no, but you shouldn't have even came at me like that. Time is up. So so to me, it's not just about. And then you have those who came out who maybe, yes, they did succumb to the system, you know, and they waited a long time or what have you. But I think it's a call to action to change the broken system, to call those to the carpet who have the power to help you advance your career and say, hey, you don't get to do this. You don't get to sit here and proposition every actor that comes in just because you have the power to do so. And there's going to be some that are strong enough, and there's going to be some that are not. But I think it's much bigger than that. I think it's about changing the dynamic. changing the system.
So
okay, that's my soapbox.
So a big part about changing the system, I feel like in some situations it's not necessarily the system. I feel like it's humanity itself. Because when you look at it, all of our systems were made originally to be, if you try to create or even analyze any system that we've ever had in humanity, the initial idea of it is always just, and it makes sense. Like, for example, communism was originally said that everyone has equal things. So as a system, that makes sense, but it comes down to us as people on how it's executed. Because humans themselves tend to, as I said earlier, get drunk with power, and a lot of them kind of start to manipulate things to give themselves more power. Like in the original Hollywood, I highly doubt it came up with, okay, let's all just be harassing people. They probably originally started with, okay, the system is these people like this people, and this people do these things, and you know, you're in the community, but every system accounts for people to do the right thing.
Right.
And it's been shown that a lot of people, if given the opportunity, they will not do the right thing. So as long as we have people in these positions that won't do the right thing, no system is going to work.
I'll say this, though, to that point. What I'll say is this. Yes, I agree it's a humanity issue. But I think it's harder to change all humanity and a little bit more tangible to fix the system. So you could say, even though over there in humanity, you doing this, it ain't happening over here.
I mean,
you see what I'm saying? So I feel like I agree with you. It is a humanity issue. At the end of the day, it is who are you as an individual?
Yeah,
what are you going to do? What are you going to accept? What are you going to allow? But there is this. We do operate in systems. Like over here, you have the entertainment industry system. Over here, you have the corporate America system. And so, to me, I feel like, even though it may be difficult to change all of humanity, you might not be able to change every single person, but you can do something about that system that you're in. And I think that that's just my soapbox.
That's not what I mean. Like, what I mean by it is, whether you change the system or not, every system is run by people.
Right, absolutely.
We don't have an autonomous system to do things like that. So whether the system is great or not, the people who are operating the system find ways to to continue to have power and to manipulate. For example, Congress is a beautiful example. The original idea of how we were going to run our government, in theory, it makes sense. But it accounts for everyone being but for it to work perfectly, everyone has to be selfless, and everyone has to work towards the goal of other people. Now, we have a term limit on being president, and we have certain rules and regulations for the Supreme Court. For Congress, a lot of people can get in and use different methods, like gerrymandering, for example, that keeps them in office for an extended amount of time, and they never lose their position, and they get to keep doing things after things after things that may not be helping people, but because they found a way to finesse the system, then it's
right. I definitely, I don't disagree with what you're saying. But what I think is, well, we talk about Congress, that is a whole different level.
I'm saying
that people, because it's layers to that system. You got, judicial, you got all of these, they control everything, and I get that.
Right, but everyone that controls the system, once they get high enough, they start saying, wait, we are the system, so let's start changing it around. So we can have a self-checking system, but then, because a lot of places that have self-checking systems, it becomes hard to do things, because for the same reason, when people are thinking about putting a term limit on Congress has to agree to that. So it becomes full circle, and people will always find a way to make sure that they're benefited in the system. So until we find a way to where we can take people out of the equation, then there's always going to be some issues, and there's always going to be some people.
With that, and I'm not arguing that. But I am saying that yes, you may have to continually bring this to the carpet because every generation is different. You have this generation that's going to die out, and you got another one. So I'm not saying that the movement is ever going to cease where you have to confront corruption. I'm saying that sometimes that's just what it takes. Sometimes you gonna have to fall out of power. You gonna have your day, you know. And so that's what I'm saying in terms of the entertainment industry. But anyway,
Viva la revolution.
This is.
Let's take it over.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe we don't have time. I was gonna say maybe we can listen to another little bit of the thing. So we're actually going into, what segment is this? Because I don't even know what time it is. What time is it? Real quick.
Naomi taking over Golden Globes 2018.
Nah, I just thought it would be interesting to talk about. All right, so listen, that's the end of that conversation. When we come back from the break, we're going to have Aisha to come in the studio, the Do It All girl. This is her segment. She will be here. She may even want to join in on the discussion, but it's always a pleasure to have her. So make sure you stay tuned and don't miss out on this opportunity to hear what Aisha, the Do It All girl, has to say right here on the Be Inspired radio show on BigExposedRadio.com.
My name is Ruth Rusi. I'm a retired teacher. I'm 91 years old, and this is how I live united. I say retired, but not really. Once a week, I read books to children as part of United Way's education program. Reading to a child creates links between language and literacy. It creates a bond between grown-up and child. And believe it or not, it prepares them for a better academic future. Oh, we read about frogs and flies and pigs with wings, all sorts of juicy stuff. It's a joy to watch all those little faces. I figure I have the time and they have the need. And I've always believed that if we're not here to help each other, then what are we here for really? My name is Ruth Rusi. I help kids prepare to succeed in school. So I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
My name is Meera Batra. I have been in this country 32 years, and this is how I live united. America has always been the land of promise, and in my community many families have come for a better life. Coming from another culture myself, I know the desire to become part of a community, to feel at home and to gain the tools for our children and families to succeed. So I advocate for these families with United Way. United Way empowers them to look beyond their histories and to see what opportunities are available. We help them get involved with their kids' schools, network within the community, and when we do, we unite them. We make the community stronger. What I do is something I wish someone had done for me, and I am so grateful I am able to. My name is Meera Batra. I help families see opportunities and succeed. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. With millions of YouTube views, shares, Instagram likes, followers, and fans across the globe. But what do all these amazing pets have in common? Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a shelter or adoptable pets near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard? Well, that's entirely up to you. Visit theshelterpetproject.org and hear more about Hamilton the Pug, Toast, and Keyboard Cat's amazing adoption stories. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Your perfect pet is just a click away at theshelterpetproject.org. A public service announcement brought to you by Maddie's Fund.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back to the Be Inspired Radio Show, only on BeExposedRadio.com. You're here with your boy, HL7 Azrael.
Miss Be Inspired on the mic.
You already know your boy, Blizzard.
Aisha, Do It All girl. Brianna.
Swing me a
Whoops,
lummy.
I did it wrong. Oh yeah, so we're still binging off of candy. I think we cleared already one bag.
Oh, wow.
There's still some in there.
This one is really good.
Yeah, that's good.
I can't say the name because we're not endorsing any company or
Nope.
business, so that's why we
Hashtag no endorsement.
Right. So we'll turn
sour
it
candy.
over.
That's all we're gonna
Sour,
say.
sour.
Sour candy.
Until we see the check.
Right. If y'all willing to pay us for an endorsement or whatever, we can do that. But anyway, so
It's all good.
yes, we are here with the Do It All girl, Aisha. We're gonna shut up because we've been talking for like an hour and some change straight. We want to hear from you.
So it's interesting. I was listening to you guys from your last segment, and today I wanted to talk about, you know, what does it take to make you happy? What are you not happy with? Fill in the blank. It could be generally in your life. It can be the system. It can be just any particular thing. But what is it going to take to change that, you know?
Yeah.
So there's, for example, one thing, you can call it a system. You can call it a specific aspect of my life, but it kind of has bigger, it's pretty much related to anything else. But I was dealing with an organization for a while, and it was a place where I was getting one of my sources of income.
Yes.
And I really started to grow tired of being there. As a matter of fact, they were violating just, I would say, my personal space, my rights, and just my I wasn't happy there. And in order for me to change it, I really, in essence, knew that I needed to make a change, but it was very difficult. And it really came down to three things. The first thing, it was fear of change. And that's a big thing. So, for example, in terms of the system and all the Me Too and, you know, Time's Up, a lot of times we don't want to take that big step so that we can make those new changes. And that's why I kind of agree with you with being humanity in some respects, because it takes a lot. One person has to be the one to put themselves on the line. Think of it when King came out and said, I have a dream, I want to do something new. Or in the 60s we're here. You know, it took 1, 2, 3 people to put their hands up and say, you know what, enough is enough. I want to do something different. And that took a lot out of them to kind of put themselves on the line, talk to other people, and actually voice themselves. And that's a huge thing that we don't want to put ourselves out there to make that change, because it requires something big of us, and we fear being alone out there. So what do you guys think? Where have you been in that situation at?
You would know. So, like, you know how a big thing that everyone does now is protest. And in city, I saw a lot of protesting. And it came to a point to where it was annoying. And let me explain, I don't feel like standing up for what you believe in isn't good. That's good. That's fine. That's dandy. But there comes a point to when you can't just talk. Like, during the civil rights era, they talked, and then it was, y'all aren't listening, all right, so we're going to actually start boycotting. So when people say that they don't like things and they don't support things, like so many people were saying, oh, Chick-fil-A is anti-gay, so don't support Chick-fil-A, or we are mad at Chick-fil-A. But then a day later, go buy a chicken sandwich. You have to hit them in their pockets. If you don't like what I'm doing, you can't keep supporting me, because if you keep paying me, basically I can say anything I want and you're still going to be with me. So it makes me, it allows the fact that I don't have to change. And a lot of people aren't willing to make sacrifices to get what they want. They want to have their cake and eat it.
There it is.
I agree with that.
Hit that bell on out.
And you know what? It's not just our fear of change. It's fear of change on both sides, because people have, you know, they might have views, they might have misconceptions of what that's going to take, or how things are going to look before versus after. And sometimes that requires other areas that have to change, which, for example, there are two things, and really it's 3 C's. I look at it. It's that fear of change, and a lack of commitment to yourself, commitment to what that new thing is going to be due to the fear of change. And then that other thing, giving up control. And that's the huge one, because a lot of times we want to be able to have things, have our cake, have it, eat it too, you know what I'm saying? And we don't want to do the new things that are going to take us to that point where, you know, we're doing something different. And a lot of times we know things aren't right. We get that gut feeling in our stomach, and but we don't know what to do with that, you know. And and a lot of times we don't want to deal with it, so we anesthetize ourselves from it. You know, for example, if you know that it's time for you to lose a little weight. New Year's is coming. We have that resolution time, right? You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I'm all for the big and beautiful girls. If you love yourself, that's fine. But if we're at the point where we have diabetes and it's affecting our health, then we need to change some things. But if we're not going to stand up and say, you know, what do I have to do differently? Do I have to eat differently? Maybe I have to start committing to myself. I get up in the morning, walk for 10 minutes, 10 minutes a day. You know what I'm saying? Just do something different, and then kind of saying, you know, what am I going to change? Am I going to cut out something? I'm going to add something in. All of those three things together, they're usually the root of why we have all of these different problems in society in so many different areas.
Yeah, people are afraid to change. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, fear is, like you said, fear is the basis of it all. Just not wanting to confront the repercussions that you might get, the consequences for making those changes, what people won't agree with, the feeling of not being accepted, the rejection. It's just so much that comes along with it. And I think for some people it's easier to stay the same, you know, for, like I said, like even for I think about my job where I work. One of the things that people say all the time is, this is how it's always been done. But nobody ever challenges it, ever.
That's the issue.
So so over the years, you know, we've been processing this paperwork the same. And you say, well, you know, I spotted an issue in it. Well, this is how it's always been done, and nobody ever goes beyond that. So I think it's fear. It's, in some instances, some people have to deal with bureaucracy and all these levels before they can get to the change or achieve the change that they want. So I think fear is the basis too.
Yeah, and I think that's why we're probably not connecting with our millennials, right? Because millennials, they have new ideas, they want to do things differently, you know, and with that, right, you know, we don't know what that's going to look like. We're afraid of those ideas, we're afraid of things being challenged, but all it is the cycle of history repeating itself.
You're using
you know,
your noodle.
we didn't want to change from the 60s, and now what do we have now? Nothing's worse. It's actually better. We can all have a piece of the pie.
I keep telling people that, and yeah, you're completely right. Lack of control. People. I was watching a TV show, and even in the stores that I've worked at and seen people, and they always feel uncomfortable when they don't have control. Even in massage chairs that are, but that's besides the point. Basically. People feel like, in the TV show I saw, Adventure Time, it was amazing. So when she lived, the character lived for like 1,000 years and 30 seconds.
Okay, well, when we come back, we just finish up. That's all that is. All right, so stay tuned, y'all, to the Be Inspired Radio Show on BeExposedRadio.com. I still stand on my point about the system.
Didn't get a chance to tune in last week? Well, here's what you missed on the Artist Exchange radio show.
Being a stage actor, how has that prepared you for comedy?
Oh man, I think that being a thespian definitely gave me a head start and an advantage over most of the guys that just go right into comedy. I mean, it definitely helps with stage presence, memorization. Just, you know, a lot of comedians in the city, they don't consider every aspect of the performance, like what you're wearing, you know, how you say certain words, and being a stage actor, like I definitely, I'm thinking about every part of the joke when I write it or when I perform it. You know, like I try to do it as a performer without looking too stagey.
Tune in every Friday from 7 to 9 p.m. and every Saturday 12 to 2 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com. This is the Artist Exchange. Real artists, real talk.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com, the home of Talk Lately with Monty, every Tuesday at 7 p.m.
Join the club that gives you stuff.
Hey, thanks!
Radio Loyalty.
Here's how it works.
Just click on the Radio Loyalty banner right now and sign up. Then you keep on listening like you already do. But now you earn points. Those points add up, and you can trade them in for stuff in the Radio Loyalty store. Earn more points by sharing your station with friends on Facebook and Twitter, answering surveys, and by using the apps in the New Players App Store. Pretty simple, right?
Radio Loyalty.
Click that banner to join now.
Business owners, need more customers? Offer fantasy sports contests and generate more sales. Restaurants, bars, hotels, auto dealerships.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com, the home of Talk Lately with Monty, every Tuesday at 7 p.m.
It is with great pleasure that I welcome you to today's graduation ceremony. Students, when you hear the reason or reasons for your absences throughout the years, please exit the auditorium without your high school diploma. Once you've exited, remove your cap and gown and proceed into the unknown. Too tired. Family trip. Part-time job. Helping around the house. Sick day. Starting the holidays early. Just because.
Starting in the 6th grade, students who miss 18 days or more of school in a year for any reason will fall behind and risk not graduating high school. How many days of school has your child missed this year? Absences add up. Keep track at boostattendance.org today. Brought to you by the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. With millions of YouTube views, shares, Instagram likes, followers, and fans across the globe. But what do all these amazing pets have in common? Their stories started in a shelter.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
To the Be Inspired radio show on BeExposedRadio.com. Blizz, were you trying to?
No, it's just sugar.
I thought Blizz was trying to bring us in. This is Miss Be Inspired on the mic.
You already know your boy Blizzard.
It's Brianna.
I should the do it all, girl.
And Azrael. Okay. So I want to go straight into this because you're using your noodle and I like it. Hold up. All right. So in the show, this character lived about 1,000 years and she fought an enemy that she fought about 1,000 years ago. So when he was confronting her, he was like, I'm willing to, from jump, he changed his lifestyle. He was like, we aren't attacking humans anymore. You know, we feed on animals. So we're cool. And then she was like, no, y'all still have to die. And at the end of the day, he was like, are you going to continue to plunge yourself in the same cycle? Because once you live long enough and you look at everything, history does always repeat itself. It's inevitable. It always does it. So it's a matter of, are you going to let history repeat itself again? Or are you going to let go and let nature take its course? If people don't want to plunge into the unknown. They stick to making the same choices over and over and over again because they don't want to go into what's unknown. And that struck with me because, as you said, the generation above us and the millennials, like, they're so, in my experience, my family is so angry with me because I don't do things by the book. My teacher told me in high school, which is the quote I was telling you all about, Stevenson, if you remember him from City, he said, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting different results. If you grew up in the 80s and your parents were doing this and it didn't work on you, why are you gonna raise your kids in the 70s the exact same way? If something's not working and you're seeing it not working, like my family for some reason has a weird idea that, you know, because it's what happened, it has to be good. Everyone in my family has a ridiculous amount of issues that they just seem to ignore. And it's just like, how are you not acknowledging this? People need to stop being complacent with what they have. If you continue to be complacent, nothing will ever grow, and we're just gonna repeat ourselves. That's why it's up to the millennials to change it all.
Well, actually, we're actually the millennials.
Y'all are?
You guys are not.
No, we're not millennials.
No, yeah, I am. Yes, because I was born in 82. Actually stops with my generation.
It starts with the 80s, you're right, you're right.
Then why do they always point to us as
90s?
You all are not.
But they do say 80s a lot of times, but I thought it was really 90s.
You all were not. No.
So why did they just point to
whatever generation is after that? Y. Yeah, Y or something. I think you guys are Y.
Generation Y, so it's Generation X.
Yeah.
Baby boomers, Generation X, millennials, then Generation Y.
We grew up in the we became
adults. You became adults in the 2000s.
So we're millennials.
But I feel like, and it's weird, because I did hear about that, but I didn't think it was true. Because literally every time someone talks about millennials, they talk about like
90s kids.
Right? Like, what did I do? I didn't even do anything yet. Like,
You're
y'all are crazy.
Think about it though. The millennials have been the ones at the helm of changing a lot in technology and how society is as it is. Now the generations after that, you guys have to take it to the next level and even blow it out the box.
Why are they targeting us though? Like,
but you know what's
why are they yelling at you? Like, don't yell at me.
But you know what's actually happened? They're actually starting to revert in some cases. Like, they're not wanting to go to college. They're moving, they're either staying home and deciding I don't want to work. Right. They're living off of mom longer, you know what I'm saying? Or they're going to college and then coming back home and saying I don't want to buy a home. And on one hand, for some of them, they have plans and, they're like, okay, well, I want to save some money and then I want to go out and be on my own and have a nice nest egg. And unfortunately, some of our parents didn't do that with us and we would have loved that.
That's why the millennials are like they
exactly. Are. But in the other cases, some of them are coming home and not wanting to take responsibility. So then you got that 35-year-old living in your basement, or 30 plus maybe, because they can't be a millennial 35, right? But and that's where you guys have to take it to the next level. So what do we do about that? If you guys are dropping a ball,
I feel like.
Wait a minute. Let me see. Wait, this is getting good too. Wait a minute.
Okay. So when it comes to that, I feel like, because I've seen a lot of videos on it and talked to a lot of people, I will agree with you. I feel like my generation specifically has a very bad problem with not wanting to take responsibility for their actions. Okay. I perfectly agree with that. They may call me old school, but realistically, you have to take responsibility for what you do, whether it's right or wrong. That's just how the world works. But with the college thing, I don't feel like that's a bad thing, because a lot of people, and I've seen this now because a lot of my friends are just now getting through their first semester at college, and they're like, dang, this really isn't for me. I just blew a lot of money, and it's starting to get out. You don't need to go to college to succeed, because college realistically is not for everyone. And people get it misconstrued. You can continue your education without going to college, because college is just a specific system. So
I'm not saying
that. No, I mean, I'm saying because it was like you were talking about the systems before, and it's different systems for everything. So I can sit here because I've learned a lot about time management and how to like work on a radio show from just watching Naomi and being here. And I learned how much work gets put into it. But I guarantee you, if I was in the class, I would not be anywhere near where I am now, because that's not how everyone learns.
And you know what? You do have a point. But the other side of that is we have a bunch of people that, okay, there's two tracks you can go. You can go to school and take on this particular career in a specific area, or you can learn a trade, and I put that under the learning of a trade and taking on a career that could be in a professional manner in a trade and building that up. But I think what's happening is that a lot of them are saying, okay, I'm not going to do either. Like, I have a really good friend, and her kids are just now starting going into college, and they're like, you know what, this is a waste of money, Mom. She literally showed me a text the other day, this is a waste of money, Mom. I could come home and just be going to, and I could just work and do what I'm doing at home. But the key is, he wants to come home and do what he wants to do, which is just that's not how it's working. And that's not really, to me, learning the practical skills. Now, if you have a plan and you said, okay, Mom, I want to be able to do this, and I want to take on this thing, and I want to go to this radio show, I'm going to get this certain amount of experience so that I can now launch off in X amount of time, and you're working that plan, I can see that makes sense. But a lot of times, sometimes they want to stay home, they want to live off their parents, they want to be able to do whatever it is, come and go as they want, live off, eat out of the refrigerator, not contribute, and that's where you gotta put your line. And that's why they know for themselves.
That's a whole issue, because me understanding that, so where I am, I was always a person to where I was like, nah, like, I'm okay with change, I'm willing to compromise if you also compromise. My family was like, no, that's not happening. And I was like, all right, then this is war. But so my mindset about it was, though, even now, I'm working to get my place by February 28th. And I've straight laid that out, because I was like, I'm aware that it makes sense to stay at home for a while, because the world is very expensive, and you kind of have to get some experience under your belt before you can take on responsibilities like that. But you also have to understand, if you're going to stay at home and conserve money and all of that other stuff, that you also have to live by those rules still. And that's why I'm deciding to leave so early, because I was like, y'all are crazy, I'm not living by your rules. So you can't just say, you can't just try to take the benefits only. Like, if you're staying in someone's house, it's only reasonable to live by their rules. If they don't feel comfortable with you coming in and leaving at 2 o'clock in the morning, then you just have to respect it, because at the end of the day, you're not really paying for anything. You're just being there. So the least you can do is follow their rules, because it is their house.
I absolutely agree.
I was going to say too, I think you made a good point, Azrael, that the key is to not stop learning. Like, when you take the road of just, I'm not going to learn anything else, I'm not going to evolve, I'm just going to, I like my cushy life at home because I don't have to take on responsibility, that's the mistake. Because the world is going to evolve and leave you right in that same spot.
Definitely.
And so even if you, I'm an advocate for college because I think it is a useful investment. That's how I look at it. It's an investment in you building to where you want to be. But not everybody wants to make that investment. You might decide you want to invest in books or taking certifications or whatever. But the basis is you're continuing to learn, you're continuing to expand your mind, you're continuing to grow. Otherwise, you're just taking up oxygen. You're just, soaking up resources. I mean, the point, but I think too, and I always point back to our school systems and the fact that it's a partnership between those that are raising our youth and the systems that they're in, and how, the school systems, and the fact that it's very broken. Like, for instance, in Baltimore City, right now, the kids don't even have heat to go to class.
Wow.
You have some that they look forward to going to school because they know they're going to get a good meal and somebody want to care, And so those fundamental truths for some is missing. By the time they get to become an adult, they really don't care because those foundational aspects they're missing, And then sometimes, even as parents, we enable our children. We don't, we allow them to be accustomed to having the good life. And don't encourage them because there's a dependency issue even on the parents' part. So there are a lot of layers here. I want you to do it how I said do it because I want to take credit for the fact that you're so successful.
Right. Like,
but instead of
instead
of encouraging them, listen, I'm going to give you the tools and I want you to go far beyond what I did. Because that's even what I do with my kids. And I'm not saying that everybody's going to parent the same way.
Absolutely.
But I'm saying that there are some foundational things that have to happen. You need to be teaching them. Our school systems have to get better. Our work at home, parents, we need to be more involved. I mean, it's so much. But the key is you cannot stop learning and growing. Once you do that, then that's where you mess up. You lose.
I think a lot of, and mind you, I don't have kids, but I know that from my parents, one of the things I think that they were afraid of, just like Azrael said, was that change in ideas and doing things differently. Right. So in reference to what you were saying, instead of giving the kids the tools and going, you know what, I taught my kid well, they're going to do these great things. They're going, oh my God, they took the tools and did something else that wasn't in the plan, and not acknowledging that there might be a whole nother way to do this thing. And that's why I think we have a lot of gaps in things, because people are afraid to stand up. And how can you complain about something being a certain way, or how can you not be a part of the difference? Like, either you're going to be a part of the problem or you're going to be a part of the solution. And that's where you have to make a choice by standing up for yourself and saying, you know what, I need to make a commitment. This is what I want. This is what I think things should be. And you know what? It's going to take me, and then me working with a village maybe of people, looking for other people who have the same vision and ideas that I have, and trying to make those changes so that we can fix those broken systems and those things that aren't right within our society as a whole.
Shout out to the Be Inspired radio show, because what you said, I feel so heavily, because and I told you this, and I said this story like last week, what had happened with me and my mom, and it all started because of the show. I was able to step up and say, no, I'm not gonna let you control my life. I'm gonna solve the problem because you're choosing to be the problem. So I had to leave. And sometimes realistically you have to make big choices because there are going to be people in your life who are going to think that they have the solution, but they don't. My family used to always say, because I was like organized chaos in my bag, even now. So my family would always say, you have to organize, you have to do it this way. And I was like, your way's not working. And they were like, yours isn't either. What does that mean? Your way is still not working. That's why my way is changing and evolving. Y'all want to stay on that singular path. But, and also I wanted to make a comment about college. I still feel like college is a beautiful investment, depending on who you are, because even if school's not for you, you still learn. It kind of helps you transition better from being a student into an adult, because it gives you a little bit of middle ground. And then also you're able to go through a lot of adult things that everyone goes through, but without as much room to fall. So it's kind of like a cushion, and it helps you get introduced into society. Because I know a lot of people that just went straight from high school into life, and even me for some time, I still had a high school mentality. It allows you to mentally grow. And a lot of people, that's why we have older people acting childish, because they're stuck in that young mentality. And they're still like, oh, this is high school. Their brain is
not structured to think and pull things apart and do some basic reasoning to kind of take themselves to the new levels of growth, so they can make those leaps and bounds and change.
A friend of mine told me, Teray, who cares? This is not high school anymore. And I really sad about it. I was like, you're right. And then everything just cleared up. Like,
now, I will say, though, for some, like, I can speak for myself. I went to college right out of high school and didn't necessarily work right then. I worked. I was always in school, so it took me a long time. I would stop and I would go. I would stop just because of my learning style. But I didn't give up on it. But I realized when I got older and more mature, college, I understood and I got college better. You know, because sometimes when you're young and right out of high school and you go to college, you don't really appreciate the value of it. And as I became, as an adult going to school, you appreciate the value. Now, also from a monetary perspective, because you know you appreciate dollars and cents when you get a certain age. You know, I done invested $50,000 in this education. I'm getting an A in this class.
And that's where I'm at. I'm just like, the dollar sign, you kind of got me a little lost.
Well, you know what? I really want to push home. College is a great investment, because I tell you, if I hadn't got my MBA from Wharton University of Pennsylvania, there are definitely things that I wouldn't have been able to fathom with what I'm doing with my business.
You have access to information and resources that you would not get doing it on your own. I'm sitting here chat, and we get ready to go to break, but I gotta say this. Right now, I'm in an MBA program called Digital Entrepreneurship at Strayer. And right now, the guy John who spearheaded Cheddar is our instructor. Where did you do that at? Unless you go to school, and this guy is a multi-millionaire and he's teaching our classes. I'm just saying. So I agree with you. All right, let's go break. I don't know how many minutes we have left. We are just plowing through this show. Okay, so I think this next segment is our last segment. I cannot believe it. So when we come back, we're just going to wrap up the show. Aisha, it's always a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you.
We love having you. All right, so stay tuned. I hope you've enjoyed the show so far. Leave some comments, heart, like, and let us know what you think right here on the Be Inspired Radio Show on BigSpoonsRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com, the home of Talk Lately with Monty, every Tuesday at 7 p.m.
Do you want to promote your business? Do you want to get yourself noticed? Well then, why not sponsor us? There are lots of different options to choose from commercial spots and on-air shoutouts, to interviews, and even putting your logo on our website. Don't miss these great opportunities to get noticed. Check out our sponsorship packages on our Facebook page or on our website, BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com, the home of Talk Lately with Monty, every Tuesday at 7 p.m.
we're rewarding you for something you already do, listening to us. It's Radio Loyalty, and it's an easy way for you to get free stuff. All you do is sign up. Go ahead and click the banner now. You'll earn points as you listen. Points you can trade in for great products and services in the Radio Loyalty store. You can earn even more points when you share your favorite station with friends on Facebook and Twitter. Radio Loyalty. It's free to sign up, so click the banner to join now.
Didn't get a chance to tune in last week? Well, here's what you missed on the Artist Exchange radio show.
Being a stage actor, how has that prepared you for comedy?
Oh man, I think that being a thespian definitely gave me a head start and an advantage over most of the guys that just go right into comedy. I mean, it definitely helps with stage presence, memorization. Just, you know, a lot of comedians in the city, they don't consider every aspect of the performance, like what you're wearing, you know, how you say certain words, and being a stage actor, like I definitely, I'm thinking about every part of the joke when I write it or when I perform it. You know, like I try to do it as a performer without looking too stagey.
Tune in every Friday from 7 to 9 p.m. and every Saturday 12 to 2 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com. This is the Artist Exchange. Real artists, real talk.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com, the home of Talk Lately with Monty, every Tuesday at 7 p.m.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Do that?
Yep.
Okay. Welcome back to the Be Inspired Radio Show on BeExposedRadio.com. We have beautifully fumbled through this whole entire show.
Beautifully.
But we made it. We made it. We talked about everything from sexual assaults and abuse in the entertainment industry and in the world in general. We talked about broken systems. We talked about broken humanity. We talked about, I mean, you name it.
How to fix it.
How to fix it.
Baby boomers, your time is up.
Right?
Shit like that.
You know what? That's kind of true though.
Y'all are starting, because they're a little, they're becoming annoying.
You know what? They did the best they could with the knowledge that they have, and
that.
we have something new to contribute to take the ball to the next level.
Perfectly said. You have any other final thoughts before we wrap it up?
That's it, girl.
Okay, that was the perfect way to end it. And I agree with that. Like, I think you're only as good as your point of reference at times, I would say. So if you don't know to do better, you won't do better, sort of, so to speak. So I get that. I do understand that. But I understand what you're saying. Like, a new generation is dawning, and there are some that's ready to take the helm, but then there's some that aren't. I think there needs to be a learning curve there. I think the next generation, even after my own, has to be willing to learn and to be mentored and taught, because there are some in this generation who have valuable things to contribute. What I have seen, and not to get too deep into it, but what I have seen is the generation following us aren't open to the idea of being mentored, because not everybody is that closed-minded or that rigid or that siloed that this is the only way that works.
Just because you can't talk to people.
Right. And I understand, but then you got to find the ones that will, like a Aisha or me. You know, like I try to give you as much freedom to express your opinions on the show, because I understand how important it is for the next generation to have that platform. You know, I challenge when I feel like it, you know, but then I know when to shut up, because it's just like, you know, you get that way when you get a little more seasoned.
Yeah.
You know,
the older you get, the more comfortable within yourself you get.
Right.
But I can totally agree with you, because I was actually a rebel in my time. No, I'm not a millennial, so that's all I'm gonna say. But I definitely was, I would say, a spearheader of change. I mean, I left my home at 15, so I had to be, but I went the right way. I was finished with high school at that time. I had to go to college. I took it like I got a part-time job, but my thing was finish that school, because at that time that was the big thing to get career. Mind you, you know, at that time it was a challenge getting into certain career in certain fields and areas if you didn't have that background. But that was actually what opened the door for me to be able to do the newer things that I'm doing now and making the bigger changes within society. So, you know, just keep in mind that everyone who might be a little older than yourself aren't necessarily against you or don't have the closed minds. You have to find the rebels. And remember, they hang out with each other. You just have to find your tribe. Right? Right? There it is, right? Okay.
I will say.
Okay, high five to that.
I am a rebel. I'm saying it is. It is what it is. I've been that way since forever. And you know, of course, you know, I'm a believer. I believe in, you know, in Yeshua. But I always say this, you know, I never fit directly into the four walls of the church because I had what they call a marketplace anointing where I needed to be in the media or affecting change in corporate America. And once I figured that, and to me, and most people thought I was a rebel or like, what's wrong with her? Why? You know, she has the potential to be a preacher. She has this and that. And yes, I can do those things, but there's so much more to me than that.
Yes.
And I was able to, and that's why you hang with people that's revolutionary. You know what I'm saying?
The hood coming out. The hood coming out.
We don't
West Baltimore coming out.
West Baltimore just came.
We don't sit and just look at things. We just cause change.
That's it.
Absolutely.
Like can't have it. Catalyst for change.
You know what? Jesus was a catalyst for change,
yes, he
right?
was. That's
and every religious icon was a catalyst for change, honestly. So there it is.
There you go. All right. I think that's perfect way. I think that's a perfect way to wrap up this show. I hope you have enjoyed it. Y'all always know we go in on our debates. All of us have different perspectives, but it works, and I'm excited about that. Stay tuned for next week. We have a jam-packed show. You'll find out some more about it. We got some new stuff coming up. If you want to sponsor, hit us up at info@beexposedradio.com to be a sponsor. We ask, and we would love for you to partner with us and donate to our growing platform. We are an international show. It's not just in the U.S. We all over, baby.
Yeah.
All right, so tune in next week to the Be Inspired Radio Show on BeExposedRadio.com.
Yo, Blizzard, are you okay?
Hi, I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title. I guess I'm